Hey guys, Jim with LeakFinder.com here. Just wanted to take 5 minutes and give you a brief demonstration. We have a lot of calls that come in on our tankless water heaters. We are a specialized company for tankless water heaters as one of the many things that we work with on a day-to-day basis. And when we deal with tankless water heaters, people are very nervous and always ask the same question, well, what about maintenance? Well, let's take you into that. Follow me. So here we have two Noritz tankless water heating systems. Both of them have never been maintained. So a lot of people don't understand the severity of maintaining even a water heater. Water heaters too have maintenance requirements, but people are not always educated on them. So here at LeakFinder.com, thank you for joining me in my shop here, by the way. I just want to show you a couple brief examples of maintenance and what you can do as a homeowner and or if you are a contractor performing maintenance on a Noritz tankless water heating system. The units that we're going to be working on today are both they are both direct fired heat exchangers. So that means that the burners actually come in direct contact with the heat exchanger to give you that instantaneous hot water that people have come to know with tankless water heating systems. So here we have our primary controller. Typically, when you're dealing with this type of a controller, if you see this, and let's say you want to adjust temperature, well, what you would normally do is you'd shut this unit off by pushing this button once. When you see the controller blank like this, you will hold this button down for probably about 5 to 10 seconds until the temperature on the screen starts to blink. Then you can adjust all the way up as far as you want to go. Then you turn the unit back on, and once you do that, it'll be back at its original temperature setting where it was originally set at. However, what you've just done is you've actually unlocked the control, so now you can scroll up or scroll down for temperature, usually in 5-degree intervals, so you would be able to go from, let's say 110, 115, 120, so on and so forth from there. However, what we want to talk about today is maintenance. Maintenance is a key for any of your mechanical items. Mechanical items fail every day because of lack of maintenance. So in this quick video, I have two tankless water heaters right here next to me. One that has never been maintained, and the second one is one that we've pulled out from 2006, and today is September 20th, 2024. So from 2006 on, let's see how bad this one is. Now, the other one that I'm about to show you, it was installed in a customer's home that lived more in a wooded area. Now, that's going to your maintenance will be somewhat affected by the environment that it's installed in. The majority of both of these units that we're dealing with are both old units. They both vent with what we call stainless steel concentric venting. That means there's two pipes inside of a singular pipe. The two-pipe system, one on the interior, the smaller pipe on the interior, is your exhaust. The larger round pipe on the exterior is your intake. That allows for your combustion air to come in. Now, through that combustion air, there's really no way for you to prevent other insects, rodents, and things of that nature typically to come in. You can try screening and doing things of that nature, but most of the time that still doesn't even do much. However, let's take a look here. This specific unit was in a wooded area. This is the inside of the burner chamber. They could not get any ignition. They could not get any gas. Why? Well, I will show you. The primary reason is, if you take a look very closely here, you can see the debris that actually is built up inside of there. Gas cannot flow through there, unfortunately. So on this specific unit, our controller we've already disconnected. We've prepped it obviously for this video, so that way we could easily access it. So these 4 screws can come off. However, to get those 4 screws off and to open up this part of the burner chamber, which will lead to the interior of here to actually check on the maintenance, we first have to unplug the unit, make sure it's off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew these 2 screws right here. Once those screws are taken out, we then have access, and also once you shut off the water, to the unit, you're going to have these isolation valves, right? So normally you're going to shut off both of these isolation valves. They're going to be parallel with the piping. And then these you're going to also leave off. You're not going to turn them on. There's no need to drain the unit. Once you do that, again, you're then next going to shut off your main gas valve coming into the unit. So the main gas valve is going to be somewhere on the gas line, and it should be on, it's going to be whatever's tied to this piping. If you follow this lead back, you typically will see a gas valve. Once you find that, you're going to reach in there, and you're going to literally just pull right on this clip. That clip pops right out. Now that's the only thing holding the unit as far as for gas is concerned. Then you're just going to basically take this. I usually do a little trick here. I usually kind of pull down a little bit, push up a little bit, wiggle it a little bit, and it gives me a little bit of room. See how this just came right up? So now we have this disconnected. Well, that's very important because it's going to lead us to our next steps. Now remind you guys, unfortunately this unit was worked on by another Noritz contractor before we got into it, and they did something very, very uncouth. What they decided to do is they decided to bypass their thermal limit switch. That's why part of this unit was burning out, and simultaneously, if you can see, the glass actually started to crack because it was superheating. Well, you can have superheating, and then this is basically how they bypassed it. Let's just show you that. We know who you are. You know who you are if you're watching this video. There's only 3 of us here in Michigan that really handle the majority of the Noritz tankless water heaters. And Jay, that wasn't cool. I put you on blast. Anyways, in the meantime, we're going to open this up by taking these 4 screws off. And I always say be careful. Normally, if this unit was actually in service, I would actually use a standard screwdriver and be very, very careful on the torque that I put on these. That's that. Now, a couple ways you can open this up. My typical way is typically you just lift up on this a little bit, usually just pulls, and for the most part, you can usually just nicely pull it, and then it will usually disconnect fairly easily. Sometimes, like in this case, we have a lot of wiring that's in the way. This is an older unit. They no longer manufacture them in this manner. And typically, in this case, we usually would pull off this, which is just our air tube. That goes to an air switch. So we'll typically just take that off as well. Slowly lift up on this burner chamber. And there's one other connector that I have to disconnect, which is right here. And then actually I'll take these off also. Now don't be afraid to just disconnect a lot of stuff if it's in your way. And the reason why, the way Noritz manufactures their water heaters or their tankless water heaters, they always make everything very, very easy for plug and play. Which what I mean by that is every one of these pieces are different sizes. Every one of these connectors are different sizes. So there's only one way to put them back together. You're not going to screw it up. You may forget a wire from here from time to time, but you're not going to just completely lose out on the proper way for disconnection. Sorry, I had to disconnect that. Needed both hands. So then, once we're done doing that, we're just going to lift nicely up on this piece. It's going to come right out. Oh my God. And there you have it, folks. This is probably one of the worst ones that I've seen, and he was actually still getting water, hot water out of this. Can you believe it? Holy cow. And this is my first time opening this unit from 2006. I've never opened this unit prior to that. So, well, fortunately, we were able to assist with that. People then ask me, well, what do I do if I open my unit and it is this dirty? Well, my recommendation is to replace the unit. It has been inundated beyond the point of no return. We can blow it out with nitrogen. We can do all that fun stuff. There's no way to ever really get it back into its original condition. So there you have it, folks. And again, if you're changing out other parts, you just take it apart. It's just very, very simplistic. So a lot of times when we get into these units, we really want to just give you the bare bones Simplicity, keep it simple, guys. I know some of you guys out there are plumbers. You guys get a little nervous because you don't want to work with electrical. When you expand your horizons beyond just your plumbing aspect, these machines, most of you plumbers are installing, most plumbers shouldn't even be installing these. These machines really should always be installed by a plumbing and mechanical contractor, somebody who has competency in both portions of the fields. However, unfortunately, there are a lot of plumbing companies that say they're great at installing tankless water heaters, but I'll beg to differ. Most people are not, at least here in Michigan. So listen, if you guys have any questions, leakfinder.com. You guys can always even give us a call. Even if you have a question, if you're a homeowner, you have a question, you want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out to us at any time. 888-505-5325. Again, that number is 888-505-5325. For our direct text support, you can dial 248-467-1761, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and we'll be more than happy to assist you with whatever your needs may be. I'm trying to think if there's any real other issues that we could talk about here right now. That'll probably be saved for another video. So you guys have a great day. Thanks again for watching. And if you don't mind, subscribe and like to our channel. If you have some time, we are slowly but surely building up our channel. Thank you again, guys. Bye-bye.